What's good with y'all boys, man? We back with another video. I know y'all boys probably finna be like, bro, this nigga's actually pushing out the videos fast. He's actually not procrastinating, you feel me? But you know what I'm saying? Oda is locked in, giving us weekly chapters, so I gotta be on the grind too. You know what the fuck I'm saying? Shout out Oda, because we getting these weekly ass bangers. Another chapter that was good as fuck and no break. You know what the fuck I'm saying? I'm definitely expecting the next chapter to have a break, but he could, you know what I'm saying? That'll be 3-4 chapters in a row with no break, and the next chapter's probably gonna be good as shit too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you watch the live reaction if you haven't. I enjoyed that shit. Enjoy reacting to that hype ass chapter. Right now, let's get into the breakdown because I don't know if this one's gonna be that long, and I gotta get to editing the predictions video after this shit. All right. So we start off the chapter, man, continuing Kuma's flashback, of course, and we skip 8 years after the God Valley incident, right? We see Kuma walking around just healing all the elderly people, man, people with injury, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Jenny's coming in. She's telling the people that they just taking advantage of Kuma. They not treating him how he should be treated. You know what I'm saying? At least give the niggas something for taking away all pain, right? And then we find out Jenny is 21 years old. We go get into what her and Kuma got going on and potential Bonnie allegations later on in the motherfucking video. You know what I'm saying? But it ends up being stated that the king is the reason why the people can't pay Kuma anything, because the king is on some weird shit. He trying to kick all the poor niggas out so he can have more money to give to the celestial dragons and shit like that, right? So next off, we end up going on. Kuma still taking the pain. Everyone else leaves. And I got real fucking confused when we got to this goddamn panel, okay? Because I'm just like, what the fuck is Kuma gonna do with the bubble? And if you watch my live reaction, I started asking hella questions, like, right after he does this shit, right? So he walks back in, and he puts his hand in the bubble and takes the pain. Now, we don't know how many people this is. I would assume this is everyone from that one day, right? Which is fucking crazy, because who knows what all these niggas was going through if they're poor as fuck and potentially being abused and in prison all fucking day, like some slavery shit. If he's taking all their pain at one time, I can only imagine how much that shit had to hit for him, right? We see Kuma take the pain, he gets to screaming out in agony and shit, and Jenny is right there talking to him, right? Now, Kuma ends up saying something that we're finna get into, which is very fucking interesting, right? Jenny says, you keep doing this every week. They don't know your pain. And Kuma says, someone's gotta take it, right? The mass extraction of pain and suffering to make it vanish. If I leave it alone, it'll go back to the original person. Now that is important ass information, because one, we never knew that. Two, that kind of changes the story around completely. Not even completely, but it just makes you think about situations where we've seen Kuma, right? Of course, when Zoro took Luffy's pain, right? It makes you think, was this nigga Kuma? Kuma was probably just gonna take the pain for him, right? Because I mean, what was his purpose? He came there to kill Luffy back then. Would he, or he came to capture him? He came to capture him, right? So would Kuma have ate that shit, or was he gonna make Zoro eat it the whole time? I know Kuma, when he seen Zoro willing to take that shit, Kuma was like, oh yeah, that's why I'm gonna leave y'all alone, because you got a friend who's willing to sit there and take the pain for you. And we remember in Thriller Bark, after that same scene, we have a scene where Kuma was sitting there and he was like, yeah, Dragon, your son is just like you. You know what I'm saying? He got friends just like you. So my question is, has Dragon done anything along the lines of what Zoro's done for Kuma to make him say that shit, right? Sorry, I had to take a sip of my juice right there. But yeah, man, Kuma's devil fruit is crazy as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? Watching One Piece, I would not think this nigga got, like, first watch of One Piece, I would not think this nigga got one of the most versatile fruits in the verse, but he does. Like, a question I had during my live reaction was, right, is because Kuma's power is taking the pain out, and then the damage comes in when you put the pain out in the bubble, right? So if he's taking other niggas' pain, which is now his pain, can he take that pain out and just keep repeating the process over and over and over to make the attack stronger, stronger, stronger? I know that shit might sound confusing as fuck, but just think about what I'm saying, right? It's kind of like some Dragon Ball Z Saiyan Zenkabu shit, right? The Saiyans in Dragon Ball, anytime they near death, they get a power up. But like with this pain ball, we gonna call it the pain ball, right? That's all the pain bubble, whatever the fuck. So let's say I got the fruit, right? If I take number one's pain, and then I take his pain, and then I put that attack out to attack number two, is that gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that gonna actually make the attack stronger? That's just the question I have about the fruit. Because if so, that's low key broken. Because if Kuma was taking everybody else's pain that he was extracting back onto himself, my nigga, that means two things. That means one, this nigga was low key, this nigga was low key training his body to take hella damage, which is already crazy as fuck. Because he's already a buccaneer, so you already gonna be durable off rip. But the fact that he's basically training his body to do this shit is kind of crazy as fuck. Second off, if that's the case, that literally means this nigga could just have an endless power supply by constantly taking it in. As much as he could take, he could dish it out and just, you know what I'm saying, boom that shit right on somebody. Kuma is a way better man than me. I would not have healed all these niggas' pain for free for this long, you know what I'm saying? Because when I was reacting to the chapter, I'm like, bro, why doesn't he just sit there and like throw the bubble into like a building or some shit? Like, why is he taking it, right? But then, you know what I'm saying, I read the next page and he ended up saying that he can't really do that shit. So yeah, side note, Kuma's fruit is very broken, and Kuma as a character, man, is just the W god. Because like I said, I'm not doing this shit, bro. I'm not taking this shit. And this is also another thing that he said. He stated that he could heal mild illnesses and light pain or sickness, right? So like, if someone's dying, he can't really fix that shit, right? Like if someone's dying because they just got they ass whooped in battle, he can't take the pain out of you and basically reverse that shit, can he? I don't know, that's a good question. Maybe we might see something like that shit happen. But then Kuma changes the subject to get Jenny from being worried about food. Of course, because she's Bonnie's mom, or whether she's a clone of Bonnie. We're going to get into that later into the video. But of course she's happy about the food. So now we cut forward, bro, and Jenny's asking Kuma to get married. You know what I'm saying? Kuma, he is a pure guy. He's a black pastor. You know what I'm saying? My boy is not with all the rigmarole. He wants to live a normal life and help people. But on a serious note, he thinks about his dad, and he thinks about the shit him and his dad have to go through because of him having being a buccaneer and shit, and he don't want to put Jenny through the same thing, which is very understandable. Really makes you feel for Kuma, man, because it's like he starts off living in such a fucked up situation. He gets out of the fucked up situation, but we know he ends up back in it. But even now, when he got the opportunity to live a little bit, niggas still don't even want to take it. You know what I'm saying? And little does he know it's going to be taken away from him soon. You know what I'm saying? Most likely next chapter. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. So Kuma ends up reading the newspaper that Dragon and the Freedom Fighters are getting their first warrant. They're finally getting a good warrant introduced. I guess they weren't called bounties back then or whatever the fuck. I was really hoping we could see it, but we didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that could be seen next chapter. Who really fucking knows? And Kuma says how Dragon's cool and he's nice that it's freeing people. He's freeing people and he wants to be similar to Dragon, right? Now, it cuts to Kuma just getting showered by the, not even showered by the elderly people. These are just the two dudes who end up being on Bonnie's crew who were with Kuma and Jenny while they were kids, right? So we cut a few years later into the incident, right? I think maybe about 3 years, another 3-year time skip after. And Kuma is fighting back against the kingdom because people have been kidnapped and being used as slaves, right? Now, I know for a fact Kuma didn't lose to these niggas, all right? Because these niggas look like regular pirate fodder and he throwing out Ursa shocks, giant paw pads, and all type of shit, okay? I know there's no way he's fucking losing. And then he's already a buccaneer, so he's way stronger than these niggas, even without the devil fruit. So I know there's no way in the fuck he lost. I know Oda probably just didn't feel like drawing all that bullshit. But I feel like Kuma definitely turned himself in because there's no fucking way he's losing them niggas, right? Now we get cut to the kid who really gives a fuck about what he wants. He wants to suck off the celestial dragons and give them their money. Even though them niggas ain't never came here a day in their life, I don't know why he's so obsessed with meeting their needs. You know what I'm saying? Even it's not like they even come here to this country. My question is, how does Kuma get labeled the tyrant in this situation? Or if this even is the situation that they're referring to? All we know is Kuma was labeled the king of Sorbet Kingdom and he was a tyrant. Obviously, we see that this dude right now, we don't know if Kuma's gonna take his place or what's gonna go on. Or maybe he does all this foulest shit and Kuma just gets framed for it. You know what I'm fucking saying? We really don't fucking know. But next we get to the goated part of the motherfucking chapter, man. The part that started getting me real fucking hype for this chapter, because y'all know how I feel about that boy. Yeah, pause, because that was kind of pause. Y'all know how I feel about that man Dragon, bro. I feel the way I feel, and I haven't even always felt this way about Dragon throughout my entirety of watching One Piece. The way I feel about Dragon has slowly grown in like the past 3 or 4 months. right now in this current moment, I feel like Dragon, like how a lot of y'all niggas feel about Shanks. He's that guy, bro. Even though he ain't did shit, he that guy. I can't help it, man. It's something about Dragon, man, when he just show up in the motherfucking story, whether it's on screen, on panel, I don't give a fuck. The chapter is just fucking made. The episode is just golden, right? So we see they're in jail. Ivankov and Dragon come to the fucking rescue to break them out. My question is, how did they even find them? Who really fucking cares? Not really too important. They could have just been liberating this kingdom. And, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? They just happen to stumble across it. But that's not really that big of a detail, right? But we do see that boy Dragon, and he was talking spicy to the king. Him and Ivankov, right? First off, Ivankov says, do you think I'll let you escape? You apes who act like celestial dragons. I don't know if that, I'm pretty sure that was Ivankov saying it, but it could be Dragon. I'm not really too sure based off the way the panels, you know what I'm saying, drawn. But we're gonna assume that's Ivankov, right? And Dragon calls a nigga an insect, like he's fucking Saturn or some shit. Like, why are they talking? Why are both of these niggas talking to him like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Dragon, you already got that look about you. Do not start talking to niggas like this already when you ain't even did shit yet. Please don't. It's gonna make it very hard for me to have a chapter where I gotta react to you potentially doing a fucking attack. But anyway, we get this W's panel right here. It's talking about how Kuma's joined the freedom fighters, same thing with Jenny. And you see the panel of Jenny, Dragon, all the other red revolutionaries in the back with Kuma and Ivankov big head asses right there behind him. You know what I'm saying? Dragon look dripped the fuck out. He doesn't have the face tat yet, but we know later on he gets it in the chapter. We still don't know when though or why. But he does have the symbol on his leg still, you know what I'm saying? Dragon still looking dripped out as fucking always. Dragon mentions how they still don't have funding and how they're moving around like a bunch of mercenaries, basically. And this is when we get confirmed the detail that majority of the community has been speculating about Dragon for a long ass fucking time, man. And that is when Kuma asks him, how does he know how to use weapons like that? First off, I would love to know what weapons did he see Dragon using. Did he just see Dragon teaching some fodder how to use a sword or some shit? You know what I'm saying? Just regular type shit. Or does Dragon actually use a weapon when it comes to battle? You know what I'm saying? I don't think so, me personally. He either got to be a straight up hockey guy on some shank shit, or he a mixture of both with the devil fruit. You know what I'm saying? But Dragon confirms that he once was in the Navy, and that he left because he didn't find any actual justice there like he was hoping for it. Now, you know what I'm saying? We all probably knew this. I was hype as fuck when I read this page, cause now it seems like even though this is Kuma's flashback, we might mix a tad bit of Dragon lore into it as well, which could also further the thought of Dragon pulling up at the end of Egghead. You know what I'm saying? But I'll get into that into the prediction video, because that's going to be its own separate video, and I don't want to really merge the two, because you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But man, the real question is, what was Dragon's rank when he was in the Marines, bro? What the fuck was it? Was he a vice admiral? I don't think he was like a regular admiral or anything, because I feel like we would have heard about that shit. If he was an admiral, I want to know how come we didn't see Kong giving him a call to go to God Valley, right? And that's another question. Since Dragon was a Marine, was he at God Valley, bro? Because y'all know, like, last week, I was speculating that like hell. A lot of other creators were speculating that like hell, that Dragon probably should have been there, and that's the reason that got him to stop and leave the fucking Marines. But we still don't fucking know, you know what I'm saying? At this point in time, yes, the chances of him being at God Valley have risen back up, but I don't know. For some reason, I kind of want to say, nah, he really wasn't there. He really wasn't fucking there. But maybe he was working for the Marines as the incident was happening, and then after the incident got out and niggas heard about it, he was like, oh yeah, fuck this, I'm done. Like, no, I'm leaving. Or, you know what I'm saying? As far as his rank, I'm really leaning towards Vice Admiral or Rear Admiral, something similar to what Kobe might have been. Shit, he could have even just been a regular, you know what I'm saying, no name ass Marine with no real rank, just a regular cabin, not cabin boy, but you know what I'm saying, just the regular Marines that go out there with the guns and shit on the battlefield with no real ranking or whatever, right? And then my question is, were him and Akainu, were they close? Did they have some sort of friendship or bond or some shit like that, right? Because we know when Dragon was in the Marines, he trained Kizaru, he was dealing with Vegapunk. We don't know who Akainu was dealing with, if he had a mentor, a rival, anything like that. But it could potentially be Dragon. We know he has, I really wouldn't even say he has something out for Dragon, But you could tell it's something between the two, because in Marineford, when he goes after Luffy, he constantly calls Luffy's Dragon Kid. Bring me Dragon's Kid. I gotta kill Dragon's Kid. I'm going after Dragon's Kid. What did Dragon do to this nigga? Obviously, Dragon left the Marines, so maybe they were close, and then, you know, Akainu just feels some type of way about that shit now. Could just be it. Maybe they were cool. They fucked with each other. They were going on missions or were partners or some shit, and then Dragon left and he wasn't feeling that shit. And Akainu was like, y'all, this nigga's a fucking traitor. And that's why when them niggas in Marineford had to walk off the battlefield, he took that shit so serious and killed their ass, because that's the same thing Dragon did. Wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not too sure about that. I've heard some people speculate that this right here confirms that him and Akainu have a relationship and that they're gonna fight soon. I'm not sure about that one. We got to wait about that shit and see. But it's nice to know that that's finally confirmed that he was in the fucking Marines. But I want to know, what made him want to join the Marines? What did Dragon see in the world? Because it's obvious that he wants justice, right? He wants the right things to happen. He wants the world to be ran the right way. What did he see for him to want that? Because I feel like, especially in One Piece, this goes for anything in general. If you want something to go a certain way in life, anything, it's probably because a situation happened to you, or you heard of something that made you think, no, that's not right. I wonder what made Dragon think that, and think, okay, maybe I could find that in the Marines. Was it Garp pushing him and just throwing him in there, and he was like, okay, shit, dad throwing me in here, this gotta be the right thing to do, right? Or what was it, his own fucking personal reasons that made him want to do it? That's just what I want to question. Now, I think it might be time for us to go ahead and talk about Bonnie, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Bonnie, because we're getting to the end of the fucking chapter, and I want to save what happens at the end of the chapter. I'll save that for last as far as this discussion. How long is this video? It's already 16 minutes, which is cool, all right? Because I got to get to editing the prediction vid for y'all boys, you know what I mean? But let's get to Jenny, right? So she's excited because she gets to see Kuma tomorrow. She's over here cheesing. She got the meat in her mouth, bone still in her mouth, all that. And we see she's the Eastern Revolutionary Army captain. Now, I'm not even getting worried. I'm getting fucking confused, right? I'm getting fucking confused, but it's okay, because in Oda, we trust. Oda has never fucked up his timelines at all yet, all right? Any time his timelines have been questioned, back when the Momonosuke shit, all type of shit, when niggas was questioning how Oda had a fucking plot hole with the timelines, he always figures it out. So my question is, something is going on with Bonnie, my nigga. I know we all thought this bitch was a fucking clone, but now it's starting to seem like she's really a fucking clone now. Because 14 years ago, Jenny, right? We see Jenny in the Revolutionary Army and Kuma, so they both been in the revs for like, what? I'll probably say, I don't know, I don't feel like doing that math, right? Fuck it, who cares? Someone could tell me in the comment section if they feel like doing it too, and if I'm wrong. But they've been in the revs for some years now, right? They've been grown for some years. Jenny has brought the idea to Kuma's attention of marrying her for some years, right? Obviously. So, and y'all know what happened at the end of the chapter with her getting captured. So my nigga, where is Bonnie at? Has Bonnie been born? Because if we're going by Bonnie's real age, which I think is 21 years old, let me look it up real quick on YouTube as I'm recording right now. Jewelry Bonnie's age is, okay, what the fuck? I'm looking for One Piece news, nigga. Jewelry Bonnie's age. Okay, well, it's not fucking coming up. Who fucking cares? I don't know. I really want to say she's like 20 or some shit. At least that's what she looks like, right? But she has the age fruit, which was revealed in the SBS like a day or two ago, I guess. So it's like, if she got the age fruit, that really could solve all the timeline problems. Maybe Bonnie wasn't born yet, or is about to be born soon, or maybe she was born not too long ago and she's still a child and she just ages herself up, right? But then that'd be kind of weird because of the way Oda has drawn Bonnie in certain moments. But I don't really think too many people would give a fuck. Them niggas could kind of get away with a lot in Japan. I don't really fucking know, you know what I'm saying? I'm not too sure. But I know one thing, this nigga Oda is not leaving a plot hole, all right? Either Bonnie just aged herself up with the fruit, and boom, that's the simplest explanation. She gave birth to Bonnie. Bonnie got the age fruit. She aged herself up so she could act like an adult or whatever the fuck. Easy solution. Option two. Um, Bonnie's a fucking clone, okay? Because which is what most people were speculating because of how she's been on Egghead Island before, as she was a child, which to our knowledge makes no fucking sense unless she was born there because she was a fucking clone. Because to our knowledge, she don't got Buccaneer blood because Saturn don't give a fuck about her and Saturn wanted off them Buccaneer niggas. So it has to be something, bro. Her being a clone would make a lot of sense because her and Jenny obviously share a lot of similarities. Duh, it could just be her fucking mom. But I mean, shit, bro. These niggas got damn near the same outfits. They look similar as shit. Both got the same eating mannerisms. Might as well be a fucking clone. Only thing I wouldn't like about the Bonnie being a clone of Jenny is then how come when Bonnie came back and told Saturn after she seen the memories that Saturn killed her father? Because if she saw Kuma's memories, she would see that she's a clone, which means she knows Kuma's not her dad. So why would she say that shit? You know what I'm saying? Unless she just said, fuck it, I'm gonna call him my father because that's how he treated me. Then, okay, cool, whatever. But no, I feel like Oda wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Oda is very specific about the shit he writes. So I don't feel like he's doing that with neither. Like, I feel like if that was her dad, if she was the clone, he would have just been like, because you killed Kuma. And we would have been like, how come she didn't say you killed my dad? But no, she said you killed my father, I'm pretty sure, right? Next thing we have to figure out, or next potential option is that Jenny is still alive, or they kept her alive, right, and used her as a bargaining chip against Kuma, because we know she gets captured at the end of the chapter. We're gonna talk about who potentially did that in a minute. So maybe they captured her, government had her or some shit that forced Kuma to like turn himself to fucking, and then like to do their niggas bidding or whatever. And then he really went along with it because he knew Jenny was gonna have the kid soon, which is Bonnie. And then I guess maybe while she was captured, they let her have the kid or some shit. I don't fucking know. But that option sounds real shaky because that don't sound like some shit the government would do. The government will probably fuck you over immediately and kill her right after Kuma do whatever they want him to do. So I don't like that idea either. So I don't fucking know. But I'm leaning towards clone. I'm leaning towards clone or age fruit, just age Bonnie ass up. Who really fucking knows? But let's get to the end of the fucking video in the chapter, my nigga. We see when Jenny's over here talking, we see somebody come out of the blue and they say that they all have foul mouths, right? And it says an unexpected opponent has arrived and Jenny has been captured. Now, I don't know who this nigga is that's pulling up at the end, bruh. I don't fucking know, but it can be a few options. Like I said, I'm not gonna go crazy with it because we're gonna save that for the predictions video because we're probably gonna pick up from here when the prediction video, when the next chapter starts, right? But I believe this could potentially either be a fucking Holy Knights, because one, the first time we heard of the Holy Knights was when Dragon said some shit about him, meaning Dragon knows what realm of power those niggas are in. Whether he was in the Marines and he heard about them niggas, whether he was in the Marine and saw them niggas personally, or whether this is about to be his first experience with a Holy Knight right now. So you know what I'm saying? So either this is the Holy Knight, or alright boys, so look, let's go ahead and finish this off because I had some shit going on in the background that I had to take care of. But look, man, either it's a Holy Knight encounter that's finna go on, or maybe this could potentially even be a Kainu coming back to hunt Dragon, or maybe this another Marine member who he knew in the past who was his work associate, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure. Besides a Holy Knight or Marine, I don't really know who the fuck this could be. I don't think this is going to be a brand new faction or brand new group of people that we never seen before, you know what the fuck I'm saying? It could even potentially be an even old, like a character that we already know that's not in the two factions that I named that we just don't fucking know yet. But you know what I'm saying? Like, comment, and subscribe, man. Hopefully, we get a tad bit more Dragon lore next chapter, because I want to make a video centered around specifically Dragon and what the fuck he got going on, you know what the fuck I mean? Like this video on this shit might be posted late the same night that I do the live reaction, or it might just come out the next morning. But chapter predictions coming soon, man. Oda, keep on hitting us with the weekly bangers, my guy. But take your break if needed, because I fucking understand. But I appreciate the weekly drops, and I know y'all boys do too. And like I always tell y'all, if it's any other One Piece content that y'all want me to talk about, any ideas, let me know. If it's any other anime y'all want me to talk about in general that y'all think I might fuck with, that I should talk about, let me know, bro. Always open to suggestions. Follow me on my other channels if y'all want. Links in the description below, man.